We are live here at the MVP Arena. It is a Tech East Tuesday. Thanks to our friends at Tech East Fire and Water Restoration. Your best way back normal. Check them out online, tefirewater.com. And because we're here, we're not there, which oddly enough, the guys at Tech seem to like a lot when I'm not there. I went in and checked out the other day. They moved my desk again. I'm gonna go in there. It's gonna be like you're just gonna be out in the parking lot one day.
It's gonna be outside,
sitting out in the parking lot.
We didn't move it.
Like, gosh, you're always an MVP with the Empire. You're fine. You don't need to sit indoors. What do you need? Plumbing next? Spoiled. What's that? I love you too, Mike. Mike Corda in the building.
You yelled at who told you?
I thought he just. I don't even. You actually listen to what he said? I don't. As long as the paycheck shows up, who cares, right? You know what I'm saying? Am I right? Nope.
You sip your coffee and you look on our visual side of what I'm wearing, baby. TB12 is back, Levack.
I hope he comes back and looks like you.
Shredded? P90X diet?
P90X.
Remember that? That's a relative reference, right? People are getting that in 2022.
I'm just saying, like, what was your version of the P90X diet? Peanut butter M&Ms, pretzels. If it starts with P, I can eat it.
Pints count.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Tech East Tuesday. I'm tired, so you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. I don't know if you've noticed this. Tom Brady is back. He retired for 40 days. So Tom Brady was retired about the same amount of time I have to finish getting prepared for the Albany Empire season, which will be 39 days and change from right now.
Someone called it the greatest comeback in 40 days since Jesus. All right, think about that. That's a Lent reference right there.
No, that's not. No, you cannot. He's not.
No, you said 40 days.
Jesus.
It was right over the plate. I had to swing.
He's not Jesus.
I said the best comeback since Jesus in 40 days.
This is a good one from our buddies inside the walls. Brady had 4 days with his kids, with his family. He was like, F them kids.
I love that.
I want it. So here's the question. Did he come back because Ali Marpet left? Was he like, that Hobart trash is not here anymore? I feel safe again. Is that what it was?
Smells like a garbage plate in the locker room constantly. Get him out. His ukulele. I don't think that's the case.
You don't think so? No. Will Ali Marpet come back now?
No.
Why? Have you talked to him?
From the people I've reached out to who are connected with him via Hobart, he has no desire to come back right now.
Wow, you can't even get Ali Marpet on the phone? What happened to you?
I talked to Ali years ago. He's a very busy man. He's got many.
Ali.
Yeah, what I said.
Ali. When somebody was
mad at me about that. Yeah.
Ali Marpet. Muppet.
He's not coming back, but Tom Brady is. The guy who led the NFL in passing touchdowns and passing yards last season. He is back, 45 years old, 23rd season in the NFL. By God, that's Tom Brady's music. Good God Almighty, he's back.
I kind of like. Anybody else just want him to really suck terribly bad this year?
I think everybody does, except.
But I mean, like, this is one. Hi guys, Corey from Greenwich is here. Here's the question: like, how comfortable are you with the old man? Like, again, everybody, Father Time is undefeated. The only guy who almost beat him was Tom Brady, because he almost walked away, like you said, with all those stats and everything else. He says he has unfinished business. That's the biggest load of crap I've ever heard in my life. What's left for Brady to do? All right, this year I'm playing left-handed, everybody. Like, what? Don't give me the unfinished business crap. I got unfinished business. I got more trophies than anyone. I've done more. I'm the GOAT. I'm this, I'm that, and the other thing. Unfinished business. Legitimately, unless it's go to the Jets and win a Super Bowl, or get traded to the Niners and win a Super Bowl in your hometown. What's left for Brady to freaking do?
This whole thing has been weird because I told you this most recent time we talked. I said, why are people all over the Brady thing? Like, let the guy just retire. You got to find other things to talk about.
Bullshit. That's why.
And there it is. Like, was it because of the initial Schefter report Like, what was the real true motivation of Brady to come back? Was it simply like the cliche unfinished business? Because that doesn't make sense. Right. Was it that he really didn't want to be around his kids? Like, he just loves football so much. He's an ultra competitor. Was it that Schefter was the one who broke the retirement story and not whatever he had planned? And then, like, it awkwardly came out, but like people said Schefter was wrong when he wasn't. But now they're trying to say he was to begin with. Was that playing a factor in this? It doesn't matter, I guess, at this point.
Do you think he knew the guy who bought the football for $500,000 his last touchdown was like, F that guy? My unfinished business is come back, throw one more touchdown, so that guy's football ain't worth jack crap. That's $500,000 football. It's worth $50K today. That's it. I thought the Biden administration had killed my E-Trade account. This is great.
Hopefully, he bought it with crypto. 90,000. What is it? 90% drop in stocks. That's something like that.
Oh,
not
terrible.
Good.
Terrible.
But Tampa getting Tom Brady back. I think you had asked, do I want the old man to come back? Yeah, of course I do. Who was I going to be stuck with? Kyle Trask?
Blaine Gabbert.
Somebody else? Blaine Gabbert? Like, I never bought that they were going to bring back Blaine Gabbert. But seriously, if I had to pick a quarterback right now to most likely get me victories as a Buccaneer fan, to tell me this guy, whether it's a track towards the NFC South Championship or the postseason, the answer is always Tom Brady, whether he's 25, 35, 45. The answer is Tom Brady.
Jerry guy from Barstool. It was always Brady. Here's what's going to happen. He's going to drop back to pass. He's going to remember he's in his mid-40s, and he's going to quit again. Just done. Beer tastes good. Bye. See ya. I'm out.
Aaron Donald's going to come rush and be like, oh man, I forgot about him. Because Tampa, think about this. And I know this is going to sound a little biased as a Bucs fan, but it's true. They were a game-winning field goal kick away from beating the Super Bowl champions. They're the defending Super Bowl champions until LA knocks them out. LA wins the Super Bowl. Yes, I'm overlooking the fact that Tampa needed a ridiculous comeback. Let's not get too deep into the details, right? We can't do that. But they were close. And he had to make a decision before this past Monday of whether or not they're going to be able to bring these free agents back. We mentioned already Marpet, who's retired. So Tampa can still be a competitor. So I love it. I love everything that Brady's back. How dare I question whether or not he's going to retire or not? I'm very happy he's back from the Bucs. And yes, because of just one player, Tampa is still a contender.
Well, do you see the odds? They were 20-1 to win the Super Bowl, and then he announced he's coming back. They went down to 10-1. He cut the odds in half, just like that. And it's obvious there aren't new quarterbacks, right? Like you saw the deal Denver put together to get Russell Wilson. You saw the money that's going to Rodgers. You see all these things that are happening for people to get any kind of quarterback. Kirk Cousins is getting another 35 mil or so off the Vikings guaranteed for 1 year. That's how bad the quarterback situation is. The guy who accidentally lined up under guard last year is getting 35 guaranteed to go back to Minnesota. Like, coaches got fired over his ass, and he's back. So you need Brady. I get it. It's fine. How big of a mess will you make on the carpet when he hurts himself in the first drive of the first game? How bad is it going to be for you?
He is, at this point, and maybe this is the Father Time reference you just had. At this point, he has not shown signs of slowing down. Like, maybe actual mobile speed. Like, he's not fast. But besides that, and also competing against mobile quarterbacks now, like Josh Allen and Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Bruce Arians' offense, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's fine.
But he has not shown signs of losing a step. Now, could 2022 be the ultimate sign and people are going to magnify it because it's Brady for sure? I'm willing to take that risk. I haven't seen it happen yet. It's a risk, 22 times it's worked. I'll roll with 23.
Did you see Leonard Fournette? Leonard Fournette posted goodbye and thanks to the Tampa fans. Brady came out of retirement. He deleted it. It was like, all right, well, it's time to go. See you later. Oh, Brady's going to do another round? All right, I'll stay at the bar. I'm not going anywhere. It's fine. I'll stay here.
You know what? Just say you were hacked. Just say someone got into your account. You don't know what happened.
Just be honest. Just be honest. Look, no offense, Blaine Gabbert, Kyle Trask, anybody else. I was ready to go on the road. I packed my stuff. I was leaving. Brady stayed. How many times have you been like, all right, I'm leaving the bar. I'm going home. And then one of your buddies goes, I mean, we could do one more. All right, I'll do one more. Yeah, I'll do one more. We'll do one more. We'll do one more. It'll be a good time. It'll be fun. All right, so Brady back, which I'm not all that shocked by it. I thought it was more reasonable than not. I thought it would happen because I think I even said to you, like, why are we still talking about it? Because nobody thinks he's really going to retire, and he did not. It's over. The only thing more exciting than that would be waking up and seeing the kind of money that's going to Aaron Rodgers' bank account.
Oof.
So, hey, 4 years, $200 million. He's like, that's not true. I did not get that deal. That's you guys are being stupid faces. That's not.
Someone tell McAfee to report that.
That's
not act like it's not me.
That's not what really happened. It's 3 year, 150 with 2 years on the back that are completely voidable. $41.95 million this season, fully guaranteed. A $40.8 million roster bonus, which means his salary is only going to be 1.15 mil this year. So it's fine. It's not a big deal. In 2023, he will make 59 and change. It's also fully guaranteed. 2024, 49 and a quarter. That's only guaranteed against injury. So if he gets hurt, that's guaranteed. Otherwise, and then I said 2 voidable years after that. 3 year, $150 million. Again, if you're Jordan Love, somebody find Jordan and Love and hug him, because some team just went, yeah, about you. Nah, we're good. We'll go ahead and give all the monies to Rodgers and just not worry about it.
Hug Jordan Love. Give him a playbook. Run a route for him. The poor guy's got to get better if he ever wants to play in the NFL. The Packers straight up said, yeah, we've got the back-to-back MVP. We don't know why we wasted this first-round pick. Like, this is bad. Like, he's never going to play. He's never going to play.
It was leverage. It was legit like that couple where I don't know, honey, my girlfriend from high school just hit me up on Facebook. We're 50, Pete. Like, what are you doing? What? Come on.
She looks good.
She looks good. Yeah, freshly divorced. Everything's cool. Jared Lozier. I'm guilty of getting others into one more drink. Yeah, as he grandfather clocks that freaking bottle of tequila behind the bar at you.
I did a We Talk Fantasy podcast. It's up right now. I mentioned Jared. I said, Jared's probably going to be joining us at Hooters, and he may not leave, and he's going to be there, and he's going to be the one to help you throughout the entire night to make good decisions.
Is that what day are we going to?
Friday. Back-to-back Fridays. Jared Lozier, Northeastern Insurance. Don't forget Levack.
Very busy.
JAREDL at nemail.com. 518-956-3753. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I got excited.
Go ahead. Talk about Jared Lozier.
Jared Lozier is going to save you cash in 2022.
And he's going to drive me home from our broadcast on. Actually, no, doesn't he know where I live?
He might. Jared actually might do that.
He's that
type of guy you want in your corner. Saving you cash, home, small business, car, anything that's important for your life. Get a free quote today. People are looking at gas price and be like, where can I save money? You can save it on your insurance policies by working with Jared Lozier, Northeastern Insurance, 518-956-3753, JAREDL at nemail.com. Email that guy. 1:00 in the morning. Who you taking in your bracket? Give me money. The end. Jared Lozier.
just say those exact things. That's exactly. Everyone send that to Jared Lozier, please. Levack and Goz, we're live here at the MVP Arena. You can also check us out live on the Techies Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page. Is that what that is? Did you get it right? Did you screw us up? We're also on the Godzilla Media YouTube, and it looks like your Twitter.
Yes, that's Twitter. Right. My Twitter.
That doesn't look like us. That's weird. All right.
You thought it was somebody else on the
screen?
Did.
It's weird. I can't.
Everyone come see how good we look.
Oh, we are. Okay, you got it. You didn't screw it up. All right. No, I look like crap. I'm fat and old. I'll admit it. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared.
I think you were going to say something about quarterbacks in the NFL before Jared rudely interrupted us.
It's fairly clear that there's nothing new coming in. Like it's you should. There goes Jamie. There she is.
Bye, Jamie.
Who's like, if you're in this year's draft, you must be thinking to yourself, like, I have no chance. Like, no one wants me. No one wants me at all.
The best part is Deshaun Watson today too. Yeah. Hey, we know the Panthers and the Saints are interested, but also the Falcons are too. Basically, anybody who doesn't want the quarterback, they're all interested in Deshaun Watson. Today was the ultimate of, it's that bad. Everybody will trade for Watson.
I think what we've learned is something that I've always known. He's just creepy. He's not a predator. He's creepy, right? So he's the guy who watched entirely too many. He's logged a lot of hours on YouPorn, okay? And he's seen all those massage therapy things, and he's like, that's what I want. And he went, and he kept, have a little something for the effort, huh? How about me, huh? And they're all like, get the F out of here. What are you doing? And he left or whatever, and that's that. Now, he's pervert, absolutely. He's an absolute pervert, but is he any worse than, I don't know, a team owner in, we'll say, the New England area? Robert Kraft? Is he any, like, he's creepy. You don't want to leave him alone with any of your female family members. And if you're a reputable massage parlor, you're going to go ahead and not book that one. But creepy doesn't mean criminal.
Yeah, and the NFL has a decision to make now of can they suspend him? The answer is yes. Can they suspend him for not being charged with the crime? Yes.
They've done
Zeke
before.
Elliott and other, with tons of examples
The
of guys who've done
commissioner
it.
exempt list, double secret probation.
It's now that is the storyline. What would it be? 4 games, 6 games, 8 games? That's depending on who's representing Watson and how it all goes. We've seen a lot of guys get less suspensions if they show that basically Mr. Goodell, I'm sorry, kiss the ring, all that stuff. Like we've seen guys get smaller punishments because of that. So maybe that's Watson's path. But with that all being said, all those teams I referenced, even if it's 4 to 6 games, you still make the trade for him. Like he's still in the prime of his career and can be a top 10 quarterback.
And Houston's not like exactly rushing to talk to anyone either. Yeah. So there's still a chance he plays in Houston. Because again,
no.
You don't think so?
Zero.
None?
Zero chance.
Why aren't they talking to everybody then?
He requested a trade back in January. I think deep down, I don't think this is as wild as it sounds. I feel like Watson believes Houston's behind some of this stuff. Like the moment he said he wanted to get out of Houston, all these allegations came out from a lawyer who was connected with the ownership group and some people within the organization. There is zero chance Watson will ever play for the Texans again.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have that kind of leverage.
Why not?
He has a no trade clause. He doesn't have like a, I force myself to Atlanta trade clause.
He could
they could just sit on him and be like, we'll live with it.
I feel like that's what they did last year.
Right. And well, they could last year because of the league and because they knew they weren't going to win anyway. Is Davis Mills good enough for you to go, all right, we'll sit on him again?
No, don't sit on him 2 years. You sat on him 1 year. The 1 year was bad enough. You could have played him. Like you said, you're not going to win anyways, and you're going to lose capital and potentially him getting hurt. No. If Deshaun Watson plays for the Texans, I will do a show as a bull, like the Texan logo. I've done this before. If he ever plays for the Houston Texans again, I will go red and blue right down here. I'll get the horns. I will do the full show week 2, wherever we are, as a bull. There's zero chance he's playing for the Texans. None.
I feel like I like this idea. Maybe you have to do the San Antonio Gunslingers game dressed as a bull.
Good. I'm in. Deal. That might be next 2023, but
or maybe a gladiator. Make you dressed as a gladiator.
All right, fine. Gladiator. There is no chance Watson will ever play for the Texans again, but he will play for somebody good.
I never say never. Never say never.
Justin Bieber.
No. See, but here, all right. So Inside the Walls is bringing up this one. Bet on football 1 year. Hit a woman 6 games. Smoke weed 3 games, kill a guy, play for 3 years before getting caught, or be like Ray Lewis. I don't know. Like, I think we're trying to just talk about how long people are out and this, that, and the other thing. If he was a sexual predator, if the criminal charges were there, he would have to be suspended. He would have to have an actual suspension on top of the time he already served. If he's creepy, you send him to some therapy and you move on. That's what they'll do. Maybe 2 game suspension. But if they can't wait for all these civil suits to pan out, because that's not fair to him. Let's say he goes and he has to fight every one of these civil suits, or he pays off half of them. So in this, some drop out. So he faces 3 actual civil suits and beats all 3. And then you suspended him, or you waited to suspend him, or whatever. Then he can sue the league. Look, I was found not guilty, and you guys did this to me for no reason. Will he win that? I don't know.
I would say he would not win that case because when players sign contracts of the NFL, there's something along the lines, right? The conduct detrimental to the shield, right? That's a term we've heard so many times before. So, look, the comparison that he just dropped there, that's apples, oranges, lemon. We can't even do that. Like the weed stuff, you and I have covered the weed stuff before. I think we both feel the same way of like, okay, they should have loosened up on that a little bit. Mm-hmm. But the comparison to this and Ridley is we can't do that. Like, look, when you're an NFL player, it's like Bo Burnham used to say this, right? There's certain things that like people in life, Moses and the 10 Commandments, like didn't think I needed to write that one down. Like when you're an NFL player, like don't commit a crime. Do we need to put that one down? Don't get arrested. Like guys, apparently. There's one rule. One rule as an NFL player, one rule as a pro athlete, one rule as a college athlete. Don't throw the games. Like don't bet on. That's it. Like that's it. That's it. So that's a completely different discussion because there's
not even a code of conduct to get in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
That's why everybody always likes to bring up the LT. Like LT got in the Hall of Fame and look at all the things he did. Well, there's no code of conduct. It doesn't exist. And again, I'm not a big fan. I don't subscribe to whataboutism. I just don't. Let's be honest. The real sliding scale on how these things work is what does Goodell and the rest of the NFL think will make everyone go, okay, you did your job. I can keep watching on Sundays. I can keep watching Mondays, Thursdays, and the occasional Saturdays. Like, what is it? What is it to make this go away? What's the penance to make it go away? That's it. And as long as that's the case, it's all over. Then we move on. I just, again, creepy, not criminal, I think is where we're gonna land on this. Dude's got a kink. It's weird. And if a family member of mine or a friend of mine was a massage therapist, and I heard Deshaun Watson was, waving his magic wand in there trying to get a little extra attention, I would tell everyone. I would out that dude in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But that's a social mores. That's how you police those kind of things. Now he grabs a hand and puts it where it doesn't belong. Okay, now you're a predator. Now it's criminal. So that was just a question of, did he cross lines? And your point of, did Houston help push this thing along? Did Houston make this bigger than it had to be as punishment to take leverage away? Which, by the way, if that's what they did, it worked.
It did work.
It worked.
Yeah.
It took some of their leverage away too, though. So we'll see. Levack and Goz live from the MVP Arena here in Tech East Tuesday land, and this is, it's like Tech East Easter. It's a little farther out.
Yes,
whatever.
Is.
Here's the situation. Getting ready for the season, fired up, excited. I was texting back and forth with my good friend Cindy Martin today.
Oh, nice.
Cindy's like, I'm ready. Season tickets are locked and loaded. Good to go. Maybe I'll see you at the Firewolves game. I know the team's going to be there on April 16th. And I was like, we'll be at our home away from home today from Tech East Tuesday here. And she said, speaking of home away from home, are you ready to sell your freaking house yet? She didn't say freaking, but because that's what she does. She works with the best group of people in the area, whether it be the best inspectors, attorneys, whatever. She's part of the Jen Karam team over at Howard Hanna, and she works with buyers and sellers. Still, this time of year, I know we were talking about how motivated people are if they're looking for homes when the weather's bad. Now the weather's getting a little nicer. You're probably a little motivated to clean up, do a little work around the house. You're thinking to yourself, it's time. It's time to move on. You get a hold of Cindy Martin, become one of her people, because once you're one of her people, she will help you find whatever you're looking for. She's there for you. She gives out her actual cell phone number, 518-932-5558. 518-932-5558. Cynthia Martin at howardhanna.com. She is phenomenal. Like, she'll reach out to me once in a while for techies. She'll be like, hey, one of my people needs this. Does techies do that? A lot of times it's something we help with, get her in touch with the right people, bada bing, bada boom, bada bang, over with. If not, I get her in touch with whoever can handle it, and that's it. She'll make those moves for you. 518-932-5558. Cynthia Martin at howardhanna.com. Cindy Martin, great realtor, great fan of the Empire, great person to hang out with, always a good time. She'll get your house show ready. She'll tell you what you need to do, or hey, look, don't even bother. I can sell this house right now. That's how she gets down. Cindy Martin from Howard Hanna Realty. Levack and Goz live here at the MVP Arena. I'm like struggling not calling it TU today. I don't know why.
Should we have a fine jar potentially if you do?
I know I don't have any money. I'm broke. I'm broke right now, man. Leave me alone. What are you trying to do?
I didn't know how to punish you.
You want to stay with let's talk a little NFL free agency.
Yeah. If you're a Jet fan, how about this? The Jets are active in free agency. The Jets are spending money. Jet fan was ready to attack on Twitter, weren't you, on Joe Douglas? I saw you guys ready. I saw the tweets, and here comes Joe Douglas. Secondary, DJ Reed, 2-year contract. Jordan Whitehead, a safety, another contract there, $14.5 million. So how about this? The Jets are getting aggressive and making moves in free agency, and I think if we compare them to the other New York teams, wins and losses, in free agency will be determined on the field, of course, but this is a great sign if you're a Jet fan. How many years in a row, Levack, in the spring do we the Jets, guys, got a lot of money to spend. Hello. They're finally doing it this year.
Braxton Berrios back, all that stuff.
Yes.
These are the kinds of signings too that they don't exactly blow your skirt up. You don't get you all excited, nothing like that. But at the same time, they're foundational signings. Was it Laken Tomlinson, who's a 49ers guard? So you bringing in guys who understand your offensive scheme, what you want to do. I'm happy with the Jets. I'm happy with the Giants.
The tight end from
with the Bills.
Yeah.
I'm happy with a lot of people. Not the Raiders.
The tight end from the Bengals is now a part of the Jets. There's rumors out there that there's rumors that Chandler Jones could potentially be coming on the way for the New York Jets.
How do I feel about that?
Do you think he's past his prime? You think this is a cash out situation for Chandler Jones?
A little bit, but then again, we've seen how edge rushers do. and big game Bob Sala's defense. It wouldn't suck.
Why are we calling him Big Game Bob Sala? Is it just because his name's Bob? Wait, I thought it was Robert.
I don't know. I call him Big Game Bob. That's what I don't know. Why wouldn't I? I'm a big fan of Big Game Bob.
I don't know if he's earned the right for anything he's done to earn Big Game Bob yet.
That defense in San Fran. Come on now. That was good.
I guess, yeah. It's no Robert Ory. It's no James Worthy. Big Game James Shield. I feel like
there's
James
one right there.
And Bob, right? They're the two that are Big Game.
Yeah. Big Game Bob Sala. You don't like it?
It's okay. I don't know if he earned it yet. Evan Ingram's gone. He's a former Giant contributor. He's now with the Jags. The Jags are
making some moves.
Yeah.
Spending some cash. I like it.
That's about Trevor Lawrence, right? And Doug Peterson trying to figure out what the future is out there. And
yeah, I mean,
Duval.
I guess it's one of those things, though. It does make me curious. So Doug Peterson got to coach against Evan Ingram while we were all sitting here up, in big blue country going, I don't think he's right. I don't think he's the good guy. He's watching him. He wants him. So maybe did the Giants just use him wrong this whole time? Maybe there's a better way to use him. We'll see it. That's going to chap you a little bit if it works out. But he made so many big drops. Like, I don't like, will he be better now down there? I don't know. I just, Trevor Lawrence is going to be throwing to Evan Ingram. Rainbow it right into his hands. Watch it drop to the ground.
The day the pick was made, you and I watched that draft together. And O.J. Howard was right on the board. Like, the Giants, if they were dying to get a tight end, O.J. Howard was falling in that draft, and the Buccaneers ended up getting him. And look, O.J. Howard has not been the player everyone hyped him up to be. Maybe it's system fit or whatever it may be, but it just hasn't worked out. But Ingram was never supposed to be drafted that high, and then the Giants were bad, so we got a lot of yardage in the second half. And like you said, he can't block or catch. That's not a good sign if you're a tight end. Like, you can't catch or block. Like, so that's it.
But if, like, maybe is it a route situation? Is it something that they think they can fix? I mean, they spent over $200 million already. I mean, they're going crazy. They're getting it done.
They're leaving no excuse for Trevor Lawrence. If people want to say last year it was because he was a rookie or because they had Urban Meyer, they can make every excuse they want. And a lot of people believe him because the hype around Trevor Lawrence, he really didn't face as much criticism as other number one overall picks because people just believed he'll be the greatest thing ever. They want to leave no doubt. I feel like that's been a March mantra for some basketball teams, but they don't want to leave any doubt. They're like, we gave Trevor Lawrence every opportunity to be good in the NFL, and it started this offseason bringing in all these skill guys.
I like that for all these years. Gettleman with the Giants has been talking about hog mollies and offensive line and stuff like that. He's gone. They instantly sign like two hog mollies. They instantly go right in. They get I don't remember, like, I didn't watch the center for the Colts all that much. Mark Glowinski, is he related to you?
You weren't watching center play from the Colts this past season?
I know. Glowinski.
I don't think he's on the trade now.
Glowinski. But I do know John Feliciano, the offensive lineman. And he was, I mean, you talk about a mean O lineman. You're talking about a guy that when he was with the Raiders just played whatever he needed to play, 8 people up, Bills, 8 people up. I think he's a great signing for them. Great signing. Versatile, move around a little bit. Everybody, Bills are doing Bills things. They're just basically signing people that, like, you're like, oh, that guy's really good.
Yeah.
And then move on.
Mitch Morris, Isaiah McKenzie, like, not big names, but Buffalo fans know who they are. The biggest thing for the Bills is that Trubisky's gone. People thought Trubisky could end up being a Giant, ends up being a Steeler. And Steeler fans looking around like, he's not going to start, right? Like, we're going to find some.
I think he is.
I wonder if your theory and my theory is the same way. I'm just going to go first. I feel like Trubisky is going to be a 6 to 8 game guy. Like, if things go wrong, they'll put in whoever, Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, like whoever they draft. But if things are really good, great. Like, we'll play him as long as he's out there and doing well. So I feel like he's going to go as long as they want him to go, and a rookie's still going to get picked.
I mean, I kind of want to see what he can do in a stable environment. I don't know if Pittsburgh is that anymore, but, like, he screams to me the kind of guy that needed to grow a little bit, needed a stable environment. But then what was going on in Chicago was not that. He gets to Buffalo. He's a backup. Who knows? I mean, who knows what they were able to do with him in the background in that situation. But if he gets a chance to actually play on a regular basis, why couldn't he turn around? Why couldn't he be the kind of guy? He's got the physical skills that you need.
The positives for Trubisky, this is going to sound funny, but it's actually true. He got better not playing. Like he became that role of the backup quarterback's popular, even though he's in Buffalo. Everyone loves Josh Allen. It's like, Trubisky, maybe, like you just said, all that stuff about Chicago. Maybe someone's got to give a run on him. Now, the unfortunate part of Trubisky is I still feel like his legacy is going to be tied to Watson and Mahomes. Right. That they passed on those two to get him.
Well, but that's kind of the point. Like Mitchell Trubisky, what's the worst thing he ever did? Get drafted way too early.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do it. It's a draft. It's not like he went, I'm going to go second, guys. I'm going to go up. I'm out.
I don't want that money.
Right. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take this. No, it's not like he called the Bears and went, you're taking me. That's all there is to it. No, he got drafted. And I think if he's one of those guys, you mean to tell me that if he ended up in New England, he couldn't be Mac Jones?
Better athlete than Mac Jones, right? For sure.
He ends up in Buffalo all along instead of Josh Allen. He couldn't be that. I mean, Josh Allen's extreme, so maybe like a Walmart version of Josh Allen. Why not? I know Giants fans are sitting here going, "Wait a minute, how do we let him go?" Because he would have either pushed Daniel Jones or taken Daniel Jones' job. Either way, we're in a better spot. And now he's in Pittsburgh. I would love if Pittsburgh didn't draft a quarterback now. They just were blown away by him and kept him.
Oh, or drafted 16 late games. Okay.
Or drafted late. Why not? Because who are you going to put out there this year that's going to take over early? Willis is a project. He's got to learn a bunch. So you have to draft your team like Baltimore drafted their team to use him. You can't do that in 1 year. So he would get the rest of this year to play anyway. Pickett's hands are too small. He'd never work at Heinz Field.
In the
even though I know he did. I know he played Heinz
Field. The AFC North overall, right? You've got Lamar Jackson. There are rumors out there that he did sign a deal that is not true. There were people are getting catfished. Lamar Jackson is not signed yet. Joe Burrow just led the Bengals to the Super Bowl, and Baker Mayfield's coming back for another season for Cleveland. So they've got to figure out, are we in the worst spot of any of our teams in our division? You could argue the future of Baker, so maybe not, but that's probably why they're a little bit less excited about Trubisky going 16 like you are, because they got to figure out it's not so much for 2022 as it is 4 or 5. I mean, hell, they had Roethlisberger for 16 years, so they probably want to find the next Big Ben.
Somebody doesn't put on an aircast every time he throws an interception, would be great. Ed Werder saying, so if you hadn't seen it, Randy Gregory, who was with the Cowboys, looked like he was going to stay with the Cowboys, did a little pivot, and now he's a Denver Bronco. Or at least it looks like that's the way it's going to go 100%. I don't know, because he did pivot fast last time. They're saying there was salary forfeiture language in the Cowboys contract. So here, if you don't remember Randy Gregory, so you've
interviewed him before.
Yeah, but you might have just joined the show when we were dealing with him, or you weren't here yet.
No, I wasn't there yet.
So because Armin's ties to the Cowboys organization, so back in the Armin Levack days, Armin used to be the on-field host and stuff for the Cowboys. One of the agents reached out to us and said, hey, will you help us like polish him up before the draft? We think he's going to go, whatever. So we were like coaching Randy Gregory on how to be interviewed and not be an idiot. And he got popped for weed again, like right after he talked to us. So obviously he took every lesson directly to heart, but he got in trouble a bunch of times in college. He couldn't put on weight, all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, let the guy smoke the weed. Maybe get the munchies and get the weight back. But it was this whole thing. And the Cowboys stuck with him. They stuck with him, and it worked out. Now he's, I wouldn't say elite, but he's an NFL pass rusher. They're notorious for putting these like babysitter clauses in contracts. Remember they did with Des Bryant?
Yes.
All over monkey pooping in a rental property, whatever. They did it again with Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory's like, nah, F that. I'm going to Denver. Good thing they're lighting up on the whole weed suspensions, because he's going someplace he's going to have no trouble finding weed.
I was going to say, oh, yeah, Denver.
Right.
That'll be good.
Right. Like you imagine the agent trying to sell us to him. All right. So my sales pitch on us going to Denver instead of Dallas. No contract language about salary forfeiture. I like that. That's good. And weeds pretty much everywhere. Okay, so when do we leave? When do I
take a pay cut.
I know that sound in the background. I just lit all my Dallas stuff on fire. Where are we go? I'm smoking that now. I'm out of here.
With Randy Gregory signing there, here's an interesting theory I have for you. Maybe the last thing we have on the NFL free agency.
I'll judge whether or not it's interesting.
Wide receivers who stink are getting tons of money. Christian Kirk got $84 million.
The
Zay Jones,
NFL wide receivers are like are the NBA player of the NFL, where it's like, how did that guy get all that money? Like, how did the 3-point shooter get all that? Like, you gave him how much?
Why? You know, the old segment we used to do. Why? What is happening?
But a year like this where there's actually a bunch of wide receivers in the draft, like it is pretty perplexing. It is pretty perplexing. I don't know.
I have this question. If anybody can get it to me, leave it in the comments. If you're listening on replay, put it in Apple or Spotify comments. Think about this. Maybe fantasy perspective more. What?
Comments on Apple and Spotify, those are things?
Yeah, those are things.
Oh, I never read those. There's probably somebody just flaming the hell out of me on there, and I'm just like, well, I don't know, whatever.
You figure out the last time a wide receiver, running back, or tight end. Running back, wide receiver, tight end.
Yes.
Free agency signing in the offseason.
Okay.
Lived up to expectations. Like, got a huge contract and actually really helped the team. DeAndre Hopkins was a trade. Stephon Diggs was a trade. I have to go back all the way to Wes Welker, like Denver Wes Welker for the Broncos. Manuel Sanders, maybe you can toss in. Robert Woods, maybe for the Rams, but not the impact like Welker had. Think about that. That's like 9 years ago, where I can name any running back, wide receiver, or tight end who signed a huge from free agency who signed a huge contract and actually had impact. Someone's probably thinking Gronk. Gronk was the trade too.
But it's, you know, it comes down to a little bit is you're seeing these teams will do what it takes to not let you go to free agency. Like Amari Cooper was basically going to free agent. Like he was going to be out there. But the Browns, hey, you want to swap this? You want to give us a 6th round, whatever, just so you don't have to negotiate with anybody but him. So a lot of times, like that's almost free agency. But off the top of my head, I'm not drawing one. I'm drawing blank.
Yeah, it might not be as impactful as the guys thinking are, and that's what's weird. I think is the term I'll use here for these contracts.
Kenny Galladay wasn't good last year. Wasn't?
No, he wasn't.
No,
okay. No, he was not good.
Curious. I was thinking of him, maybe. What? Julio Jones? No,
not good. Old, very old, very fast. AJ Green, also very old, very fast. Danhausen, right?
Yeah, very evil, very very nice, very evil.
Hopefully, some people got that Danhausen reference. If not, Google Danhausen,
and then prepare yourself to go. That's a thing, huh?
This guy cracked the code on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that as a search, by the way, for this video, Danhausen, and see how many more views we get now because of how that guy cracked our aggregate, right? Every time you Google that guy, he's all over our videos.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere. Like, and he's hysterical. I think he's figured it out. So this Danhausen guy for like pro wrestling, he's not the biggest. He's not the most gifted. He's a decent wrestler, but he's got a gimmick. And like he just shows up everywhere, does what he wants to do. Everybody loves him. He has a toy collecting blog.
His gimmick, as he described it, is Conan O'Brien was possessed by the devil.
Yeah, it's not far off. It's very, very nice. Now give me the monies. He's got a jar of teeth. He carries a jar of teeth. He dumps them into people's mouth during a fight and like hits them. He does the big shoe dance.
Levack, tomorrow I'm going to be at Mohawk Honda.
Okay.
Hosting the plate change challenge. You're seeing some stuff on social media platforms. Cannot wait to see the competition go down. Hosting, I don't know what my role is going to be, but I know it's going to be fun. Shout out to Nate. Shout out to Nick. All those guys do a great job.
Yeah. By the way, Nick, 39 days to kick off for the Albany Empire. I might need a couple more days notice than, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Just putting it out there for you, bud.
Worked out perfect for me. My family's in town filming a movie, so I said, "Oh, we'll stay the night and we'll hang." Perfect. That worked out well.
Liars.
They're out there with the playing home free people in Kingston right now. Well, I don't even know what they're in. Anyways, Mohawk Honda is where you get your vehicle. Glenville, New York.
Your dad's gonna comment soon.
Yes,
I'm in this, Tommy boy.
2022 Pilot EXL is sitting somewhere in that MVP arena parking lot, and that guy said I could park there, and then questioned me after I did it. But that doesn't matter. Yeah. What matters is the new vehicle that fits your lifestyle, your budget, more than the people that you work that can trust during the car buying experience. Shout out to everybody. Greg Johnson.
The older guy in the parking lot?
That guy. Cam McKenna, Brian McKenna, MJ.
He walked up to me the other day.
Mohawk Honda, where they always got over there to please you.
Parked in my spot where I'm supposed to park. Walked up to me and went, "Oh, I know who you are." Okay. Turns to walk away and goes back and goes, "But you can't park here. It's John Mayer Day." I went, "We should just set that for me. Who cares who I am? Nobody can park here because John Mayer paid for the lot. Like, what? Who cares?" But it's just funny.
That guy has his own comedy show in his head.
Remember when do you remember way back in the day? Probably, I mean, we were both doing radio and you actually were allowed to go out in public. Not just you, everyone. I pulled in one day and he was legit just eating a sweet potato. Like a whole, just like an apple. He was eating a sweet potato like an apple. And I was just like, I wonder if that's cooked. I don't know. I couldn't really tell by the way he was biting it. I couldn't really, He'll walk through here sometimes. You guys got any T-shirts? And they just keep going.
I want people to now show it to the MVP Arena this season for the Empire. Just try to park over here. You're not gonna. Just interact with the guy and then pull out.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Because the other guy is my boy Jeff, who takes good care of me. So don't do that. Don't pull
older gentleman.
Don't do that to me. Because somehow that'll come back to me, and I don't need that in my life. I don't need it at all. Levack and Goz live from the MVP Arena. 39 days to the Albany Empire kickoff. Getting ready, getting excited, looking forward to seeing Carolina come. Carolina Cobra's roster looking pretty good. Not as good as ours. Pretty good, though. So we're excited about that. But, Goz.
Yes?
Baseball news.
The New York Yankees have traded away 2 players and 1 player that I think you and I were at the point that if we had to do another season of talking about this guy and hearing complaints from Yankee fans, our eyes were going to bleed. Dirty?
Yeah, his middle name is Dirty.
I don't think that's accurate.
I see a lot of people freaking out about this trade. So Gary Sanchez, Gio Urshela, they're headed to Minnesota. Basically, Josh Donaldson's coming back. I know there's 2 other players and blah blah blah, but it's Josh Donaldson. That's the guy. That's the true target on the Yankee side, is to get a real bat at third base. I don't like seeing Gio leave. I like Gio Urshela a lot. Gary Sanchez. It's so funny to me. I was listening to like New York City radio. I was listening to some people I know. I was reading some of the comments. All of a sudden, Sanchez, he's the Kraken. He's the Kraken. How do you let a catcher like that go? Well, you mean the guy who doesn't get down dirt block pitches, the guy who loafs, the guy who does a lot of things, who when he's good is very good, but when he does, he's not always very good. That's how you let him go. It was just time. It was time to let him go. This is the kind of trade that the championship Yankees, I think, would make. We're going to give you the guy who could be very, very good for you. Could hit a lot of home runs in Minnesota. But we're going to get a guy that we know is going to hit for us and play third base. We're going to platoon catcher if we have to. Don't forget, they've got catchers coming up from the farm system too. So like
and added one of the trades, so they've got people that can play.
Right, they're going to platoon that, whatever. But all those things, I think it was a good trade. Or at least I'm curious to see how it looks.
That last part is kind of where I stand on this trade, because it feels like the Yankees aren't done because of what they did, right? Because they brought on salary. Josh Donaldson is going to make more money than what Gio and Sanchez were going to make. So you say, okay, we're going to bring on money and we're going to deal to a team that is competitive in Minnesota. And we're going to bring in guys who are kind of unknown at this point, the 2 other guys in the trade, not to undermine those 2 guys, but I think it's still about Correa too. Like, is Carlos Correa going to sign with the Yankees? Are they the leader in the clubhouse to get him? No. But there is an opening that is still left that if they wanted to add Correa, they can do it and have Correa and Donaldson and Glaber. And like, you add Carlos Correa to that team, which is still possible. We got to start talking about the Yankees as an American League favorite. That's the impact he can have. Now, here's the problem if that happens, though. You've got a combustible locker room because Correa took shots at the Yankees, and we know Donaldson and Garrett Cole have a beef.
They worked it out.
Did they that fast?
They worked it out. They worked it out. They had a
Who
nice
said that?
talk.
Brian Cashman?
No, there's a couple of them who said it. I mean, like I said, I think they realized they're stuck together with Spider Attack, and there's nothing else they can do. I think it's one of those things. Like they, so the comment was, Josh Donaldson said, quote, "Is it coincidence that Garrett Cole's spin rate numbers went down after 4 minor leaguers got suspended for 10 games? Is that possible? I don't know." So basically, hey, Garrett Cole's cheating is what he said. But then, Cole said it's in the rearview mirror. He's, he said, look, if you're committed to winning a championship, this kind of stuff doesn't matter. Donaldson, I love this one. Donaldson, we were just having a conversation because obviously there was a big stink that was made out of it last year, right? I think both sides wanted to be able to meet and address the issue that was at hand, as far as just hearing one another and ultimately leading us back to our goals. And our goal is to win. He also said, like, last year he could have done this. He decided to strike me out. So there you go.
Can you give me the Cole quote again one more time?
Look, if you're committed to winning a championship, this kind of stuff doesn't matter.
You know what that sounds like? Hey, I don't like the guy, but he's on my team now, so I have to deal with it. That's what that was. Hey, we had the same thing with Trevor Bauer back in college. Trevor Bauer was a phenomenal player. I was phenomenal. We hated each other, but we wanted UCLA. Josh Donaldson, I don't like him. I don't have to like him, but he's going to make the team better. I'll go hang out and do my thing. He'll go do his thing. And businesses can work like that. You don't have to always like everybody you work with, but if you're a successful business, sports team, it can work.
Well, here's the question. How many people do you think Garrett Cole's actually close with?
That's a great question.
Like Garrett Cole is not. He doesn't strike. He's not going to go do the pie to the face like AJ Burnett. He's not going to do a bunch of. It's. I think if you're not part of his pitching routine that day, Josh Donaldson and Garrett Cole will have an issue if Josh Donaldson plays crappy hot corner. That's when they'll have an issue. That's it. What are you going to do? Do you like everybody you work with? I mean, you don't because it's your kid and your wife. But
Gazula Media, I like myself.
I work with Mike Corda. You think I like him? I know he's in here somewhere. It's just, you got to. There's a goal. You got to get things done. You got to win a World Series. That's it. It'll be fine.
That's it.
It'll be fine. I love the people who are like, this is just move number one. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to package Josh Donaldson, this one, that one, the other one, and you're going to get this guy. Most of the people thought they were going after Olsen, but now Olsen's been traded from the A's to the Braves, and he just signed a huge deal. So it's not that. But, I don't think the Yankees are done. I think there'll be some more movement. But Josh Donaldson's playing third base for the Yankees this year.
Yeah, and no Freddie Freeman either.
No. Nope.
So I think it's more discouraging. He's not going to be a Brave.
Correa. I don't want him.
You don't want Correa?
No, he's a turd. Have you seen the Yankees farm system for shortstop? They could legitimately bring a kid up this year and be okay. But they've got two kids that are like a 1A and a 1B. I got to go back and read their names. I was watching the farm report while drinking a little bit the other day, and there's some good stuff down there. There's people who are reaching out to the Yankees. Like, that's one of the reasons the Yankees haven't been making a lot of trades is they want those kids. So we're good. And don't forget, the Martian's down there still.
Oh my God, I forgot about him. The Martian.
I told you not to forget, and you forgot. I give you one job.
Sorry.
You had one job. Don't forget the Martian.
Remember the aliens where the government just confirmed they're real? People were like, we got some stuff to deal with, okay? The alien thing is now not the time to drop it. We're not focusing on aliens in the next 2 years.
What do you like that? What do you see what they tell you when you get the $6 a gallon? By the way, Loch Ness Monster, real, actually been running the economy.
That's right.
Like you open the door, it's just a big lizard. How you doing?
The old Friday news dump, huh?
Yeah.
All right, we're ready.
Oh, $7 a gallon? Well, I didn't want to tell you guys this. Asteroid coming for the Earth. It's been coming for a while. We know it's coming. 3 weeks. You guys got 3 weeks to live. That's we'll tell you that too. Mermaids, real. That documentary that we told you was fake, real. Blair Witch Project, real. All real. It's all real stuff. And it's all Trump's fault. I just want you guys, or Biden's, depending upon which way you want to vote. That's all this too. It's all real. Everything of it. Levack and Goz, we're live here on a Tech East Tuesday at the MVP Arena. Very, very excited about the season coming up. Very excited. Actually, going to see my boy Doc Fred Drew tomorrow.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Doc Drew's going to help me out with the tooth. I'm going to go in and Lori Ann from the office and Doc said, look, two things before we help you with your tooth. We want to make sure we have season tickets and we want to work with the Empire. And I said, I can fix those things for you, but I want my damn tooth. No, so big sports fan, Doc, big Mets fan, big Giants fan, and a big fan of the Empire. So very excited to go talk to Doc and everybody in the office. But, I'm going to bring my mouthpiece with me because I called 518-885-6185. And I said, look, here's the deal. I snore. I'm tired all the time. So we got you covered. Went in, grabbed this lunchbox looking thing. It was a sleep study I could do at home 2 nights, brought it back. Next thing you know, they're evaluating. They go, hey, you got severe sleep apnea. Do a big scan, make sure that nothing's going on in there that needs to be taken care of. Mouthpiece, custom made for me. No hoses, no wires, no nothing. Keeps my airway open. It's simple and easy. I could never do the mask. I couldn't do it. I know I wouldn't. I'd be annoyed all the time. And I'm always annoyed, so that'll be really bad. But the mouthpiece is simple. I got used to it in about a week, I'd say, and now sleeping much better. 518-885-6185. Dr. Fred Drew and the Integrative Sleep Center in Boston Spa. They're helping me sleep better. They're going to help you sleep better, too.
It's time, Levack. After a
Time to bust a dope ride?
After a 2-year hiatus, the Levack and Goz Bracket Challenge is back. 2017. Luckily, I didn't share this on social media. I may have done a show dressed as a Hooters representative, we'll call it.
Yeah.
And that picture is out there on the internet somewhere.
Did you only do 3 of the regions?
I thought I did 4.
I think you only did 3 unless somebody deleted it.
2018, I lost again. I dressed as The Rock from the 1990s with a fanny pack and all. 2019, I was victorious.
Yep. And then the world stopped.
I
know you're having trouble hearing from my kid.
Yes.
So she did reply to me. I say, we're doing it. I go, make sure you fill out your bracket. She goes, I'm at work right now. I'll do it after work. I go, great. I go, we're doing the show. Any trash tag for Goz? Goz is not worth my trash talk at this moment.
Oh my God.
and there's people with horns looking at us through the window. Yeah, not worth her trash talk at the moment. So, well, she is. I mean, she's 2-0. Well, 2-1.
2-1.
You allegedly
she
won.
Also didn't text me back, so that's even double downs on her trash talk.
She's not exactly the biggest fan of Dad at the moment. So,
or Goz.
Well, yeah, but that's not new. So I think just being associated with me might have got you a little, back burner.
Well, I'm back. All right. The thing was 24 points. So for you listening right now or watching our YouTube side, you can join our bracket challenge just by clicking this blue link below. It is free to enter. Top 3 prize winners. Prizes involving Hooters, the Albany Empire, and Godzilla Media. Top 3 prize winners getting something really cool. Free to enter right now. Join the Godzilla Media bracket challenge. 24 points. I have to beat your daughter by. She is not a college basketball fan. For the podcast audience, I'm a USBWA voter. My votes are up. All-American Awards, all that stuff. This is my thing. I love college basketball. Born and raised in a college basketball city. The punishment. I have suggested, and I've said it to you, that I feel like I should go Stone Cold Steve Austin. I went with The Rock in 2019. Stone Cold is allegedly coming back to wrestling. If I lose this, I go shaved head. I go double knee brace. I go goatee, cut sleeves. I go goatee.
Okay.
I go full Stone Cold. Unless you've got another idea or your daughter has suggested something else.
No, that's good. That works for me. That works for me.
All right.
You need the chains too. You got to do the chains.
Of course.
I don't know what her punishment's going to be because she's not talking to me.
Okay.
So, and she said you're not worth her time. So maybe she doesn't even think she needs one. But maybe she picks up the dog crap in my backyard. Maybe that could be her punishment.
Oh, her punishment's going to be the same it's always been. Because I need, right. Shameless promotion. She will be wearing Godzilla Media stuff to school.
All right.
I don't care what it is. It used to just be my Twitter handle. Now it's Godzilla Media. Right. Oh, yeah.
What one of these regions is missing? So
I believe it's probably the Midwest.
Well, Midwest is here. I got that.
South, East, or West?
East is missing.
Okay, East.
All right.
Great. So, you know what? We're going to lead with the East. No, we're leading with the West. Okay.
Midwest?
How about West? Because it's in the top left corner of the bracket.
Already hit Midwest. Okay, West it is. There we go. West, West region. Are we going through all our picks?
No.
Okay.
I think the best way to do this to not make this too dense and to not bore people
you're dense
is to give one wager, like betting on the game. If you're using DraftKings, one wager you really like.
We bored those people. They were watching us through the window and they just left.
One wager you really like, one upset you really like, in the Final Four team coming out of it. I think that's the best way to handle that.
All right, so the West region,
top left.
I am looking at that right now, and I will tell you that I very much like Texas Tech in the first round, but I'll give you my upset for the second round. Or do I have to? Because we're just gonna go through the whole region, right?
Ooh, I like. You know what? Let's go with that for the upset.
Okay,
because this is, of all the regions, the region with my least amount of upsets. But because you teased Texas Tech, I kind of want to move that to the Sweet 16 because I have in that Sweet 16 Texas Tech versus Duke. Now, Duke has 5 NBA players allegedly on their roster. This is Coach K's final season. And you would think if someone said Duke has 5 NBA players and it's Coach K's final season, of course they're going to be Texas Tech. But I've talked myself into having Texas Tech there over Duke because they play better defense. Duke can't score all of a sudden in the last 3 weeks of the season. So I have Texas Tech in my Elite Eight, even though I tweeted out Duke would be a Final Four team. I've gone back on that because of this matchup. I like Texas Tech to get to the Elite Eight. So that's statistically my biggest upset in this bracket.
Because you're a wimp. Texas Tech can't beat Duke if Michigan State already has.
Ooh.
I'm fading Duke. Duke's got a little entitlement thing going on, right? So I said they were going to lose outright to North Carolina. I was too much of a wimp, didn't bet it. I said they were going to lose outright to 10. Did bet that. Virginia Tech.
Yes.
Tech. I bet that. Michigan State. Duke loses in the second round.
Ooh. And by the way, this happened in 2019 with that Zion team.
Mm-hmm.
They get to the Elite Eight. Michigan State pulls the upset. Izzo beats Coach K. Okay, I like that. That kind of goes my best wager now because my best wager in this entire region in the round of 64 in the West was also Duke. Duke plays Cal State Fullerton in the 2-15 game. The spread is 17.5. My thought is, okay, Duke got beat in the ACC tournament. Coach K doesn't want to be embarrassed. They see, even though Michigan State and Davidson could be on the way, they know all the pressure. Coach K is going to be so pissed at these guys the next couple days that he is going to say, you want to go in the NBA? He's going to get all over these guys, and poor Cal State Fullerton, the Titans, are going to get pounded. I actually like Duke, even though they're a name brand. I don't like betting name brands with spreads. 17.5 that opening round game. Pound Duke.
No. By the way, apparently there's some boozing going on down in Va Tech. Lindsay's down there. Lindsay, she's saying Hokies are going to win. She's very excited.
We'll get to you, Lindsay. We'll get to you.
So yeah, she's very excited. She's very fired.
Where's my graphic?
She's probably boozing it up. She's down there partying at Virginia Tech. All right. So all right. Do I need to tell you who comes out?
Yes. Who do you think is coming out of this region?
Gonzaga. They're just too good. I got Gonzaga over Texas Tech.
I so badly wanted to take somebody else but Gonzaga. I wanted to have the stones to take Texas Tech. I wanted to have the stones to take Duke. I'm with you on this as well. I feel like Gonzaga is the favorite.
She's bombed. Look at her. Ha, 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 ha. She's bombed. She's bombed.
I have Gonzaga as well coming out of this region. Even though Gonzaga, how many years in a row have they cost people their brackets or getting upset early? I also have Gonzaga.
I mean, they got the two bigs. They're a tough matchup for anybody. South?
Let's do the South. This is the top right portion of your bracket.
All right, top right. You go first.
I'm going to go with my upset. My first upset that I love. This is my Cinderella team in 2022.
Cinderella story. I don't know where.
I have UAB in the 5-12 game over Houston. Houston lost a player that was a potential role guy, like double-digit scorer that they needed. He's out. UAB played in the same conference, does play in the same conference as North Texas. North Texas was supposed to be the Cinderella team this year, but North Texas lost in their conference tournament. 5-12s always happens. Mark it down a 12-5 upset. I like the Blazers. UAB over Houston in a 12-5 upset, even though we've interviewed Calvin Sampson before.
Pretty easy one for me here. 11 over 6. Go blue. Michigan gets it done, takes out Colorado State. There's my upset in the first round.
I've got a great stat for you involving your Michigan Wolverines. Love this stat. So in that 11-6 game we're talking about here, Colorado State's got a player named David Roddy. If you haven't seen this guy play, he is, Levack, what you, me,
lies.
Boston Dan,
lies.
A Boston Dan dream of. This guy's 6'5", big beard, big afro, takes the ball and just goes at people. Like, back to the basket player.
Street ball.
Oh, it's awesome. But here's the stat. Number 11 seeds, so your Michigan Wolverines, favored by more than 2 points, are 5-0 straight up and against the spread, all winning by 7 points or more.
I knew all that. In
3 games, when the 11 seed was favored by exactly 2 points, 2 of those 3 games straight up and against the spread, a.k.a. Michigan, from the lines we got, was a dog.
Yep.
And then it changed, and now they're the favorite.
The money. Follow the money.
There you go. It's never happened before. I loved Colorado State. They were going to be one of my sleeper Sweet 16 teams. This is a horrible matchup. Michigan's the answer.
Michigan is the answer to my upset and my best bet in this region for that round.
Are you willing to take Michigan over Tennessee in the next round?
No. Okay. Not in this bracket. No, I will on some brackets. No, I Arizona, Tennessee. I went a little chalky to come out. I think Villanova is really, really good, but I think Tennessee's a little momentum on their side. Look pretty good, but not good enough to take out Arizona. I like Arizona coming out of the South.
Man, we have matched 2 for 2.
You ruined everything.
I've got Arizona as well. The only difference is I fought between Tennessee and Villanova. A lot of people after Selection Sunday said that Tennessee should have been a 2 seed. Well, it doesn't matter now. And Villanova, every single year, they're good. Jay Wright's got 2 national championships, another Final Four to it.
Every single year.
I say before we get to the finish here for the bracket.
Well, there's 2 to go.
Yeah, we're halfway.
All right.
I want to tell you about our friends over at Lily and David Fine Jewelers. Levack, did you know today is National Plan for Your Wedding Day? It's a real thing. Today is National Plan for Your Wedding Day, and the staff at Lily and David Fine Jewelers can help you do it.
Take a note. Find someone to marry. There you go. Plan started.
Their new spot is the Shops of Wilton off of Route 50. Love the crew. There it is. The engagement ring right there. The wedding band, all that stuff. This is called a wedding band, not an engagement ring, but close enough. That's right. Our audio audience won't know. But stop in and find out how you can save some cash getting ready for your wedding season, whatever it might be. If you want to talk about that wedding band sale that's going on, if you want to find the perfect piece of jewelry for her, or she's got a birthday, maybe you've got an anniversary on the way.
She has a birthday? She's so cool.
Lily and David Fine Jewelers can help you find it. A family-owned and operated business. He loves supporting those type of businesses here in upstate New York. Continue to do that. Shout out to Alyssa. Shout out to David. They've helped me. Poor David gave me the best way to do the engagement, what to do for my wedding, and more. As Levack has learned over the years, sometimes some people will tell me things, and then I'll just ignore them politely and just do what I want.
Polite.
Fail.
It's not even polite. It's not even polite. It's very rude.
Just
actually.
watch me crash into the wall and come back and say you were right.
Yep.
But he will help you. Listen to his advice. Shops of Wilton off of Route 50. Lily and David Fine Jewelers. Follow them on Facebook as well for more updates of what's going on there. And when you stop in and get her that great piece of jewelry that fits her style, her fashion, and more, tell me you heard about it from Levack and Goz, right here from Godzilla Media.
Godzilla Media. I've heard of them. All right. You ready for you want to go to the East?
East.
All right. So the beast from the East. All right. Here's what I think about the East. I think you should go first.
So it is 85% that this has happened, where a play-in game, if you want to call it that, a first four team plays and wins in the 64 round.
Okay.
So I'm looking at St. Mary's here in the 5-12 game again. Indiana upset Illinois in the Big Ten championship. Wyoming was like the last team to get in as an at-large. Both those teams have something to prove. St. Mary's gets a lot of benefit because they beat Gonzaga and they played in that conference, and San Francisco is also in the WCC. So whoever comes out of that 12-5 game, that looks to be my upset in that spot. Wyoming or Indiana, the Fighting Jeff Martindales, he's got ESPN, so people won't get that reference, over St. Mary's in the 12-5 game. That is my upset there.
Did I do that too? I might have done that too. Yeah, I picked that. I also picked that. I did. So I don't know if that's my favorite upset though.
I hope it's not one at the bottom involving somebody who might be hanging out with us Friday.
No, I'm not touching. I'm not. Oh no, I wanted to. I definitely wanted to take Yale over Purdue, but
he better not come. He better not be there Friday.
I think Purdue is a monster. As a matter of fact, can my upset be in the Elite Eight?
For sure.
All right, I'll take Purdue over Baylor.
Ooh, okay.
I think Purdue gets it done. Purdue. I think the Big Ten is the class of college basketball right now. I think the Big Ten is the SEC of hoops. I really do. So I think Purdue does it against Baylor and comes out of the East.
Okay, Purdue's always got those big 7-footers too. Finally, they punch it through. They had a good run a couple of years ago too, where they thought they were gonna get there, but it didn't happen. I got to get a wager. I want to get a good wager for some people who, if their bracket starts to blow up, they could look at that. UCLA and Akron. I know the MAC has had some teams win in the past.
I might bet Yale with the points.
Ooh. Here's another betting nugget. A lot of these great stats coming from ESPN in our bracket tournament challenge spot. Number 4 seeds are favored by more than 13 points. Against 13s are 13-0 straight up. And 10-3 against the spread, winning by a combined, on average, 29 points. Notable because UCLA is a 14-point favorite over Akron. I like when I see zeros next to these stats for betting. So if I had to take a spot there to wager, I would take UCLA over Akron. My pick here, coming out of the region, I have the Kentucky Wildcats. I think Kentucky every single season, we know this, right? It's like the trendy pick for people who don't know college basketball, but they've got NBA guys. They've got John Calipari. You're right, that Purdue matchup is going to be tough. If they can get by Purdue, Baylor's a defending champion. UCLA is a tough matchup for them. I feel like Kentucky is the safest pick for me there. So I'm going with the Wildcats, even when they get by the St. Peter's Peacocks at the 215.
You said Cox. All right. One left to go. The Midwest region. Goz, take it away.
I'm going with a double pick here. Upset and betting, combining both these two. And this one breaks my heart because I loved Providence before the season. Loved them. Thought this is the team. They're going to go deep, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's not going to happen anymore. Here's this stat. Only twice has a number 4 seed been favored by fewer than 3 points against a 13 seed. Both times that team lost straight up. Right now, if the games were to tip off today, Providence would be the lowest favored 4 seed in the history of the NCAA tournament. What does that tell you? It tells you that South Dakota State ranks in the top 2. Shout out to DRB who shared the stat with me. South Dakota State ranks in the top 2 of both field goal percentage and 3-point percentage. South Dakota State has won 30 games. South Dakota State, that is the upset you should have on your bracket. If you're looking for a Cinderella, that's your pick. South Dakota State over Providence.
I'm a big-time player. I make my picks in the big-time games. Number 3, Wisconsin over number 1, Kansas.
Ooh, the Badgers. The fighting big cats for the Barstool fans. By the way, before we go on, did you think that was cool or lame with him like going in the cheering section? Of, like,
oh, it's cool.
All right.
The fact that he's doughy and he did the no shirt thing, good for him. Good for him.
It was okay. I mean, the students liked it, so that's all that mattered. Yeah. I'm not going out there.
He swore after the game on the mic and everything. Good
not
for
very
him.
Midwest of him.
Yeah. All right. So
I got South Dakota State as my upset. I've got Kansas, and I've got Auburn. I've got the Tigers taking down the Badgers in the Sweet 16. I have Kansas. Very chalky here. I've got Kansas in my Final Four. So,
all right. You ready?
Yeah. Just to recap, I have Kansas, Arizona, Gonzaga, and Kentucky.
I have Gonzaga, Purdue, Arizona, Wisconsin.
Your national championship game is?
I've got the Arizona Wildcats taking on the Purdue Boilermakers.
I've got the Kentucky Wildcats taking on the Kansas Jayhawks. We are this is exciting. We're kind of way far off on our picks here.
I got Arizona winning it all, baby. 77-66.
So before I give my pick, you just picked Arizona.
Yes.
In 2017, the year in which I had to dress up as a Hooters girl, I had Arizona. And that was the best bracket I ever did. 30 out of 32 right in the first round. You know what happened to me 5 weeks later?
Well, that's why you come up with the spread, too, for the kid.
24 points.
All right.
So you're taking Arizona. I think that's good karma for Team Levack to potentially have that punch through. I like Kansas over Kentucky. Kansas is old men. They got 5 super seniors.
Speaking of old men, bye, Mike.
Grown ass men on Kansas. 5 of those dudes. So because of that, Bill Self's team's not as talented as before. Kansas.
All right. I like it. Well, and then so what's the big prize? Because Justin Morris still gets the happy hour.
I just emailed him. He's either coming this Friday or next Friday. I shot him an email today. He's probably at work.
I think if he's smart, he comes when we're not doing a damn show, right? We tear it up a little bit.
It's up to him.
Oh, we're gonna do a show and then hang out.
Yeah.
There goes Ryan. By the way, Ryan Hill, if you want to be a partner with the Empire, he's your way in. Later, man. Ryan's like shyer, I think, than the rest of them, so I like to really just shout him out as much as possible.
Yeah, he likes to turn. He's got to turn on the energy for the
door, but that's all right. That's okay.
Man.
Whatever. He's fired.
So top 3 prizes. The first prize winner is going to get we'll say a significant amount from Hooters. I don't want to say the number yet because I got to confirm that with Dan, but I know the number in my head.
$1 million.
$1 million.
Hooters dollars.
Yes, less than
boobies.
Let's say, you know what? Hooters gift card.
Okay.
Hooters gift card
for $1 million.
Tickets to an Albany Empire game of their choosing is the second play.
Who said that?
You did.
Oh, you sure?
Ryan did. Actually, I was way out.
I drank a lot. I don't know if that'll hold up in a court of law.
And then 2 Godzilla Media polos for the third place winner.
Why do they need 2?
I'm just gonna give them 2.
Why do they need 2? Give them 1.
They could win 1.
Why don't you give them a polo and a long sleeve or something?
I don't have the long sleeve right now.
Oh, you suck. You're terrible. All right.
So those are our picks.
All right. Very good. Q&A at the end of the day?
Q&A at the end of the day. But before we do that, Levack, we got to give a shout out to our friends.
Start getting your questions in now because then I can read them. It's Q&A at the end of the day. Techies, Fire and Water Restoration, Facebook. Godzilla, YouTube. Goz's Twitter if you're really lame. Or, carrier pigeon. I don't fucking care.
John Stone Supply in Troy. The spring is here. The snow is gone. But even though the spring is officially here, you can still get your preseason pricing on the things that matter for your home. If you're a homeowner, furnace, boiler, John Goodman Furnace, 2% off just by stopping into John Stone Supply in Troy, 6th Avenue. Say what's up to our guy, George, if he's hanging out. He's the man. Tom with his hair getting longer and longer this baseball season. He's fired up. The baseball is back. And if you're looking to do those spring projects, the best prices you can find at upstate New York from Milwaukee Tools, guaranteed. So if you're looking to save some cash, that's the spot for you and to work with people that you need in your corner. Now, some of you, maybe it's a family member, a friend, things may have gone wrong with their furnaces and boilers and they put it off until the spring. Here's the number to call, 518-272-5922. 518-272-5922. John Stone Supply in Troy. Check them out. I like shouting out the Facebooks because so many people have crazy things going on Facebook, especially theirs with the John Goodman Photoshop right on the face, 6th Avenue, Troy, New York. Johnstone Supply.
One of the guys who works for me, he his boiler blew up. So he's telling me how he missed this and he did this and he's going on and on. And he goes, but I ended up finding a boiler at an auction. And this, I'm like sitting there looking at him like he's got 6 heads. I'm like, what are you talking? You went to an auction for like, really? Yeah. And it turned out it was this many years older than it was supposed to be. It was missing a part. He's going on and on. I go, I know you listen. I know you listen to the podcast because you comment once in a while. Yeah. You didn't go to Johnstone Supply? You think they would have had it? I'm like, I'll stab you right in the heart.
Go.
And then I was like, you wouldn't be doing any of this crap right now if you had just gone to Johnstone. Yeah, but brand new versus this. I'm like, I would have called for you. I would have made the call. You just say John Goodman, you get 2% off.
That's it.
Friggin', America's treasure, John Goodman, 2% back in your pocket. I was so he's fired. I fired him. He's fired.
He's gone.
I'm firing a lot of people.
Vince McMahon style. Right?
Yeah, you're fired. Well, if you can't make that kind of business decision, how can I trust you? Hey, listen, here's a discount on a brand new boiler. Oh, no, I'm going to go to some shady auction and buy it out of the back of a warehouse. The guy's probably cutting it off the freaking top of the warehouse while he's talking to him or something. Jackwagon. I hope he's listening. Jackwagon. You're not really fired, but close. All right, so time for Q&A at the end of the day. You want to lead off or you want me to start rolling?
Kyle wrote this one. What do you guys think of the J.D. McKissick signing for the Buffalo Bills?
I love it.
Details of the contract: 2 years, $7 million, another $1 million upside.
I think McKissick is one of those guys who is just pure athlete, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they use him. The only thing is I don't know what the Ken Dorsey variation of the Buffalo Bills offense is going to be, but I think he's a guy, he's almost one of those guys where you're like, I got to get the ball in his hands 9 times a game, 10 times a game, whatever it is. So I think it's a good signing. Very good. Very good.
Does he make the Bills offense better? Yeah. 3rd down for sure. I've never been a big Devin Singletary fan. I know he had an okay playoff, but makes the team better. Ken Dorsey had a great point right there to bring up that we don't know how he's going to use him, but he's good enough. Makes it happen.
All right. How about Tom, our boy Tom Gross? Love this kid. He's a good dude. What team do you think Deshaun Watson will go to?
I'm going to stick with the Panthers. Stick with Carolina. They've always been the most rumored team. They want to go all in with McCaffrey and Rule. I would stick with Carolina.
You know what? For some reason, I'm going to say Houston.
No way.
It's going to happen. Houston.
I want you to find whatever the number is on DraftKings of him going back to Houston and place like $10 on it.
I think because for whatever reason, Carolina, it makes sense on a lot of levels for Houston. Is that where he wants to go? Because you got a lame duck coach, basically, unless you put it all together. There's talking about them getting rid of Christian McCaffrey. That's your best weapon. You do have nice receivers. You got some good pieces. But why do I care? I want to go where I want to go. Atlanta, maybe. I could see Atlanta. I don't know. Something about Houston. Something about it. I just feel like it's one of those things where like, no way this will ever happen. And it's like, so after meeting with Lovie Smith and the rest of his coaching staff, I feel much better about this organization. Right?
I'm back.
Yeah.
I don't buy it, but
I would miss the people of Houston. All right. You got another one?
I got a lot of wrestling. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, go wrestling.
DRB wrote, guys, the NCAA tournament is such an exact science. You got to look at all options and then select the opposite because your gut tells you that. I don't know if that helped. Hey, you look at all the numbers and whatever they tell you, don't do that. I just gave you like 3 numbers that I love. Don't do that to me.
I don't think that's good advice. Corey Greenwich, I only listen to you guys, right? Well, I got a dumb question. This one time I listened to Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. What's Max say at the end of every show? Perv? Or I don't know how you spell it. What he does, I don't listen to that show. It's fucking terrible. I'm sorry. We had Keyshawn on. He's a miserable human being. Jay Will, awesome. Love that dude. I would hang out with Jay Will in a hot second. I'd love to talk boxing with Max. I don't listen to that show. I either listen to a podcast, music, Howard Stern, or I go Boomer and Gio out of the city. I never listened to Keyshawn, Jay Will, Zubin, Max, or whoever else, or whatever Teletubby is the third chair. I don't know. I don't listen to it.
And also you listen to all the Godzilla Media podcasts, of course.
There's 2 now, right? This one and that crappy one you do? Pretty good.
I've got a Twitter message. It's kind of along the line of Corey. outrage and people. Wait, what was Corey's point at the end of that? Did I miss his point?
He just wanted to know what Max says at the end of the show, and I can't answer because I don't listen.
There's no point.
Corey. You're the only Corey. You have a choice between listening to the end of that show, cows mooing and defecating in your yard, and you pay more attention to the mooing and defecating. That should tell you all you need to know about the show.
Corey left me a message.
No offense.
That's right. No offense. That's right. No disrespect. He said he was upset that today's show wasn't at his farm because he was making syrup.
Okay.
I'd still like to do a show at his farm. Fran was pissed. Fran wrote this to me on Sunday. Fran wrote, "They better not cut away from the women's college basketball selection tournament show. We all know that jerk Tom Brady was coming back. He seriously couldn't wait till tomorrow. Seriously, what a jerk." Fran.
I like Fran.
Oh
I like Fran. I like Fran. Fran's got some rage. Fran, you talk about like, playing tough in the low post. Fran, whoop your ass. I can hear it. I can hear it in her tweet.
I like this guy. Our guy Barry, brother of Dan from Hooters, wrote this on his as well. You absolutely need to cut away from the NCAA women's selection show. It's on 2 channels. This is a no-brainer. Go full Tom Brady coverage. I thought they were gonna. I thought ESPN was gonna cut away. I don't think that's a bad thing if you got 2 channels airing the same thing.
I just love the stuff that makes people angry. Those are my favorites. You know what I mean?
Here's one. Well, you set me up well for this. Right. John E. wrote in, "Wow, a lot of New Yorkers have no idea what's close to New York City. They have zero idea where Buffalo is." This is in reference to Seth Davis constantly saying how close Vermont was going to be when they played in Buffalo, where it's a 7-hour road trip.
Yeah.
Is that true?
But if you look on the map, it's very close. If you look on a map, it's very, very close.
I think it's absolutely true that New York City people have no idea where anything else is in upstate New York.
No, and that's why what pisses people off about me is anything north of the city is upstate New York, because it's a different world. It is a different world in New York City than the rest of the state. Like Buffalo and Albany are obviously a little different, but we can find some common ground. You're basically a Buffalonian. Like there's common ground. We go to the city or somebody lives in the city all the time. It's like, all right, hey, New York, but it's we're red up here. They're blue down there for the most part. I don't really like to get political, but seriously, fuck Joe Biden right now. Gas is too expensive. My stock went in the toilet. Either any of them who do that to me financially, I vote with my wallet. I'm sorry, you can hate me all you want. I vote with my fucking wallet, and my wallet is empty. But like it's very different. It's a different world. Like if you made them different states, people would be like, "Oh, that makes sense."
I have no idea where stuff is in other states.
You have no idea where we are today.
I know Buffalo is 2 hours west of Syracuse. I know it's 4 hours west of Albany. I'm getting good with New York because I've worked in different spots in New York, from Watertown to Geneva and everywhere else. I got
good's a strong term.
I know where I can find it on a map, but not if I'm driving. How about that? Is that better clarification there?
The amount of times that I've had to share my location with you, and you still can't find me. The only plus of that is when I started sharing my location with you, somehow Boston Dan started sharing his back with me, and I still have it. So every once in a while, like instead of calling Dan and going, "Hey, are you under the orange roof?" I just look on my phone and I'll like text him. I'll go, "Why are you home, loser?" why don't you call? I muted the wrong mic. There you go.
That's my move.
I was like, why aren't you out? But that's that. All right, here we go. You want a how about a little Empire one? So who did you all send to San Antonio for Pindell? Well, we sent Pindell to San Antonio. So that's who we sent the pin. So there you go. That's the answer, right? So who did y'all send to San Antonio for Pindell? We sent quarterback David Pindell to San Antonio. So that was the question. Who did we send to San Antonio? Questions answered.
Is he asking who you guys got in return?
Oh, he might be, but that's not what he said. Listen, we love Dave. Dave Pindell's a great kid, good player, freak athlete, amazing. But it was pretty clear based on what we were going to need. He was going to be our third guy, and we're not carrying 3 quarterbacks. So what did we get back? Future considerations is what we've been told. So I think more or less what we did was we gave David Pindell a chance to play somewhere else. I don't know when we'll ever I don't know how we will collect future considerations or not. Biggest cop out in the world, and it's true. Coach Manas does the roster. I don't do it. But I know we're just happy for David. He's a good dude and he deserves a chance to play, and it just wouldn't have happened here this year. He sat behind Tommy Grady last year, and he did it with class, style, and was great whenever we needed him. If I was wagering, I'd say he'd be sitting behind Mike Faithful this year. And Sam Casanova is friggin' going to give him a run for his money in camp. So we sent him down to get a chance to play. So the future considerations, we'll let you know.
By the way, that's probably gonna be another question we get. We are scheduled to be on that podcast on Monday.
I know. I was busting your ass. He goes, who'd you get in return? I was just busting your ass inside the Walls podcast.
He wants the scoop. He's gonna probably drop it on you Monday when we hop on as a guest.
That's why, again, to my knowledge, it hasn't been decided yet. The future considerations, it leaves a category open, and then we move from there.
I got two good.
Does he start in?
Now he's really digging.
Yeah,
follow. Well done.
For Monday. I hope he does, except for when he plays us, because I don't want to root against him. But David Pindell. Another thing about Pindell, let me tell you this: he had signed with Mass in the IFL, but he didn't show up, so that's why he still gets to play in the NAL. And then I know he's interested in a couple other leagues. I know he's like I had heard rumors that his guys were talking to that fan football league, the one your boy John Manziel.
Oh, the fan controlled football.
Yeah, I heard he was talking to them for a second because he's exciting. I don't know. I wish really good things for David Pindell. I think he's a great guy. I really do.
He's got a really good social media following too, so he's gonna if he wants to put his brand out there and all that stuff, he can have that happen. I'm
just not sure he's 100% built for the indoor game. We'll see because when he was out there, he looked nasty. He hit the problem with Pindell, which is the awesome thing about Pindell. He doesn't give an F about contact. He's in, like with that video, him running people over, which is great, except for the fact that you only carry one or two quarterbacks in this league. I don't need Darius Prince under center. I love the kid. I know DP can do a lot of things. He's, the beige god, if you will. But I don't need him under center if I can help it.
I'm going to use that on the broadcast this year.
What?
The beige god.
That's his that's one of his handles. I think it's his Instagram. Yeah.
Two goodbyes here. One, shout out to our guy Jesse McWilliam, who is off to Syracuse. He accepted a job for Spectrum out there. You might know
demoted.
You might know him from the hits such as filming my first pitch at the Valley Cats game that you said he doctored up.
He did.
And then also a nice piece he ran on me back in Las Vegas. So shout out to Jesse, man. Awesome dude.
Good
dude. RIP
we'll miss him.
RIP Razor Ramon. Scott Hall is a tough one. A lot of wrestling fans are blowing up our timeline yesterday talking about the bad guy, Razor Ramon.
Was it Hard work pays off? I don't remember all of it, but I know bad
times go, but
bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Got it.
He was one of my favorite, man. One of my absolute favorite. It's funny when I go back and I watch the debut, because Razor Ramon was 92, early 90s, and like how like what a cheesy Tony Montana from Scarface ripoff he was, but he was so good. Like he was so good at it. And then as the Outsiders for the NWO just reinvented, wrestling. I didn't care about wrestling anymore. And then I was like, oh, now I do. Now I do. Him and I actually started watching the cheesy Punisher movie because Kevin Nash is in it. And I was like, oh man, I miss Hall already. Already miss him.
RIP, man. You never ran into him in your trials and through the radio land, an event or a live interview, anything like that?
No, not that never got to interact with him. No, I mean, listen, everybody knows around here what you did is you went to Denny's on Wolf Road after the house shows and all that stuff, and they'd be there. He was never there. So I saw like Farouk eating with Ahmed Johnson and D'Lo Brown, Billy Gunn with his girlfriend at the time, who was a smoke show. Billy Gunn's shoulders are this wide, Mr. Ass. And then interviews and stuff like that, but no, never got to meet Hall or Nash. I heard they could kind of be a little cantankerous too. I heard they could be a little leave me alone nerd kind of thing, which, hey, look, I also like to be left alone by nerds.
Boston Dan had an event with them at Hooters where we're going to be on Friday for our March Madness show, right in between session 1 and session 2, 5:30 to 7. The cool thing about Razor Ramon is I was doing an impression of him last night. And I was watching my son react to like, oh, Chico. And like his eyes, like, what is that voice like? And I'm like, oh, man, if you were a kid watching Razor Ramon, watching like a 2-year-old basically do that, like, oh, like he could clearly just the antics and his ways, like,
toothpick,
the whole stuff, man. He was a character. He was great.
He kept a lot of the Razor Ramon stuff when he was just Scott Hall. That character was so good that they tried to do it without him and Diesel, Big Daddy Cool. Oh man, wrestling! You got me watching more wrestling again. I hate you.
WrestleMania just around the corner. It's a few weeks.
I thought. Oh yeah, I thought for some reason I thought it was this week, and that would have been uneventful for me not watching it. All right, we're done. Peace. Goodbye. Sayonara. Out of chair. MVP Arena. Very excited. Getting closer and closer to our home debut for this season. Getting very, very excited about that. Of course, Friday live at Hooters as getting ready for the bracket challenge. Sign up now. Is there a link?
Yes, if you are watching on YouTube, it's below. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, just go to the episode description, click on the link, copy it, and you can enter.
Yes, get in now. Get in. Don't waste time. Very good prizes. Watch my kid slap the daylights out of Goz. And then probably me too, because I don't even know. Like, this will be the year I win it all because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Like, a lot of years I'm dialed in and I get my ass whooped. This year, I've been so busy. I've been watching some Knicks basketball, a couple other things, getting ready for football, baseball, everything. I'm not ready, which means I'm gonna whoop up on people. I just
Perfect
feel
bracket.
I just feel
$1 million. A
little quick. It's the Cam. Hey man, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. A little advice for you. Start listening earlier, Cam. What the hell's the matter with you?